Welcome back to Early Morning. Let's head on over to the top of the hill for some of the top stories around the country. And joining us is Niall Stanage, associate editor of The Hill. Good morning, Niall. Thank you for joining us.
Good to be here, Mitch.
We are now measuring Kevin McCarthy's failure, not in votes, but in days. It is day 2 of him not being Speaker, of nobody being Speaker of the House. What do you expect from day 3, Niall?
There are some indications of progress being made between the pro and anti-McCarthy bloc, Mitch. But obviously, the math here is very difficult, given that there are approximately 20 people right now opposed to McCarthy within Republican ranks, and he can only lose 4. That's a big uphill climb. He has apparently made concessions on quite a few important topics, but we don't know if that's going to be enough to win over the dissenters.
Well, and that opens it up to what will happen then. Are there any number of concessions that he can possibly make to make this work? I read somewhere else that he's given away the store already. There's nowhere else for him to go to negotiate.
So just to take one example, there's this suggestion that now he's going to permit a regulation that would allow simply one Republican to call for a vote to potentially depose a speaker once that person is elected. That was the kind of concession that he was extremely resistant to making and that moderate Republicans are going to be very alarmed by. But it just goes to show, to your point, the extent to which he's having to move to try to get these people on board, again, with no guarantee of success.
Now, McCarthy has gotten about 200 votes, give or take, over his course of 6 votes. That's not 218. Hakeem Jordan, meanwhile, has gotten all 212 Democratic votes. All the Democrats need is 6 more votes if they vote as a unified bloc. Not necessarily that Hakeem Jeffries would be the guy, but can't Democrats possibly take control of this situation instead of sort of laughing about it and tweeting popcorn memes?
I don't think there's a realistic possibility of a Democrat being elected as Speaker. If Democrats were to take control in a more generalized sense, what they might be looking for would be concessions that would enable some of them to join with moderate Republicans in permitting a moderate Republican to be Speaker, for example, committee assignments and things like that, the stuff of congressional horse trading. I don't see that there's any pathway through for Hakeem Jeffries, for example, to become Speaker.
But is there a moderate Republican out there that you think the Democrats could unite around? Is there somebody out there like a Liz Cheney who's gone now, but somebody that might be a candidate that they could say, okay, at least it's not this guy, it's going to be this girl or guy?
Well, the one name that I think we mentioned before, Mitch, is Fred Upton, a Republican retired congressman from Michigan, stepped down at the last election. His name has been put out there. He has said that that's an intriguing proposal. The problem is, if you have Democrats backing one Republican, do hardline Republicans then completely desert that person and you're back where you started?
We'll have to wait and see. Niall Stanage, associate editor at Hill, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.